Good evening. Hope everyone is having a good week and had a great weekend. Just finished watching How to Fix a Broken School, Lead Fearlessly, Love Hard. And it was an amazing TED Talk. This could be one of my favorites we've watched so far, if not my favorite one. I want to talk about how she opened it, a catchy opening. She opened it with a story, right? On November, whatever the date was, and she went right into it, starting at her new school, and started out with a bang. There was a fight, and all of a sudden she started out with an authority. There was a fight. I broke it up quickly, and I immediately demanded a meeting to introduce myself as the new principal. And then she went from the authority to the girl called her out. This is not a school. And then instead of having to think about what she was going to do or feeling sorry for herself, she went right into the action. It was an amazing opening to the speech and had me engaged, so would have the readers engaged immediately. One thing I really enjoyed about her talk was her passion, her enthusiasm for what she was doing. You could tell from the very, very, very start, this was something that she was so compassionate for. She was going to help these kids no matter what. And she did. The stories were incredible, from singing happy birthday to coming through on, I'm sure, her own time, nights and weekends to refurbish the whole school, redoing the billboards, throwing away old materials, getting rid of broken desks. I think it's actually very symbolic. There's a lot of things in our lives. I'm not a teacher. I'm not in a school. But there's a lot of things where we give up on, right? We think it's a failure. We think that there's no use in trying anymore. And I loved her quotes. Her quotes were so simple, but I loved them. So what? Now what? And I think we can use that in everything we do outside of school, right? This is a failure, this isn't going to work. Well, instead of feeling sorry for ourselves or feeling that this is the end and defeated, so what? Now what? What's the next step? Where can we go from here? I love that attitude. Her other quote was super simple and I loved it. If you're going to lead, lead. I mean, it's such a great duh moment, right? If you're going to lead a school, then do it. Lead by example. Go in there, show your authority, but get things done. And her third quote that I love is, if no one told you they loved you today, remember that I do. I think by the end of her 17-minute talk, I believed she loved me. So it was it worked. It was very useful. I believe in getting kids to feel their worth and feel that they belonged inside of those schools. I feel like you could really feel her leadership power, right? She never came out and said it. She never said, this is what I forced the staff to do. This is what I forced the people around me to do. She just said, these are the things I did. I got a leadership team together that could help me. I did, these things to make the school better. And I think when you have a leadership at the top that is so enthusiastic and compassionate and helping and making things better, that trickles down. And obviously in her case, she's a prime example of that. The test scores, everything came up by the end of it. So it worked for her. The other thing that I really liked is how well she was a storyteller. Like I said, she caught you from the very beginning of it, and I was intrigued the entire time. I watched it a couple times to see what else I could catch, but I was intrigued all 3 times that I watched her video from start to finish. You wanted to know what happened. You wanted to know what happened to, what's her name, Ashley? The girl that called out, this is not a school. What happened to her? Where did she go? I felt like there was more to the story that I was missing out on, which sometimes I feel like that's a good writer, that leaves you wanting more. So I thought she was an amazing speaker, and I think she would be an amazing writer. And that school district is amazingly lucky to have her.